Guys, y'all. So we at 207 now. We're at there's 207 of you guys out here listening to me. That's ridiculous. I appreciate every single one of y'all for subbing to the channel, and I pray that I can provide some value to you guys. I'm gonna try my best. But we out here moving. We're at 207? 207. Oh man. I appreciate every single one of y'all. And thank you, Tech, for shouting me out, as well as everybody else has shouted me out, showered me with love, and kind of gave me a bit more confidence to do this. So hopefully I can do my job and make sure I'm providing value to you guys. But if you don't know me, my name is Isaiah. I'm a six-figure shoe seller. My wife and I decided to create a series in order to document our journey as we ascend a ladder towards financial freedom. Guess what? I had a conversation like 2 days ago or so with Tech and Mandy, and they blew my mind. They blew my mind because in the conversation, I was trying to figure out why my previous business model wasn't working. Because I was selling a lot of stuff, 38% sell-through rate, like per month. Like that's beautiful. I was selling over 100% of my items every 90 days. I was killing it. So how come I couldn't be the penny that multiplies every 30 days? And I'm sorry, every day for 30 days, and then you end up with $5 million. Why couldn't I be that penny? What was going on? And I found out while I was talking to them. The reason why it didn't work was because I had an employee that I didn't know about. Crazy, right? Like, Isaiah, you hired someone and didn't know you hired them? I did. Didn't know I hired this person. And I'm about to show you who this person was and basically how much money this person was taking from me. So let me get my screen share on and rock and roll. Here we go. All right. So you guys should be able to see this now. What we're going to do first, we're going to throw my personal bills in there. They're about $4,000 or so per month. And then my business bills is around $1,400. Now that's going to include, you know, my store rent, the utilities in my store, supply costs, things of that nature. That's my daughter in the background. But it's about $1,400 or so per month. And then my listing goal per day is around 20 items. So that puts us at 600 items a month. What basically happened just then was the 20 items per day got multiplied by 30, giving us 600 items total. Average cost of goods is $3.50. And then my actual profit is around $7.63. That was my profit with the old business model, around $7.63. Now, you're about to see the problems that I was running into as this model continued to build. Now, let me show you. The employee that I was missing was this guy. You see the $6.67 that has to come out for every single item that I sell? The reason why is because I have to pay these $4,000 in personal bills. This guy named Isaiah, he had to receive $6.67 for every single item that he processed. Because if my bills aren't paid, if my lights go off, if my wife is homeless, the rest of this stuff falls apart. It doesn't work. I have to pay my bills. You know, my wife stays at home and takes care of our daughter with me. Of course, I'm here too because I'm a reseller, unfortunately. But like, if we're not able to live here, then all of this other stuff falls apart. So I have to pay $6.67 per item to Isaiah. And then after I pay Isaiah his $6.67, like that's not it. That's not it at all, because here's the thing. The business has expenses too. The business needs to, I can't run my business without my rent if I don't pay my rent for my storage. I can't run my business if I'm not buying supplies. I can't ship out shoes if I don't have a poly mailer to ship the shoes in. So I need to make sure that I have money cupped over to the side for the business expenses too. The business needs is $1,400. Now, on top of that, I have my cost of goods. Now, fortunately, every time you sell an item, you get your cost of goods back as long as you sell it for the right price. So every time I sell something, that $350 can just slide right back into place and go buy another item. Now, let me show you where this went wrong. See, my profit per item is $7.63. This get added to this $350 that we have up here, giving us a cash flow of $11.13. What I mean by cash flow is just the amount that eBay pays you. So on average, eBay was paying me about $11.13 per item. Now, after Isaiah gets paid from this 11.13, I'm left with $4.46, right? And then I got to give the business this $2.33, which means that I am now left with $2.13. Do you guys see the problem? I'm gonna wait a second. Do you see what the problem is before I say it right now? My cost of goods is $3.50. but I have $2.13 left over. How do you make that work? How am I going to put $3.50 into an item when I only got $2.13 in my hand? You can't. It's not possible. So guess what ended up happening here? I'm going to show y'all real quick. So 213, we're going to multiply that by 600 items. I almost did 213, meant to do 2.13. All right, that's $1,200 bucks. $1,278 left over at the end. As you can see right here, my expenditure for inventory was $2,100. I need to spend $2,100 a month on inventory. So we take $2,100, we're going to divide it by 4.3, and that tells us I needed $488 per week on inventory. $488. I only have $1,278, which gives me $1,278 divided by 488. I got 2 weeks of inventory, 2.5 weeks of inventory. And that's what kept happening to me. Every single month, I couldn't buy inventory on the first of the month because I was paying my bills, and I couldn't buy inventory on the last week of the month either. Neither of those 2 weeks was I able to buy inventory. I could only buy inventory during the middle when I had a little bit of money left over. And this is where my money was going. I had to pay myself $6.67 per item and then pay the business $2.33. But I didn't have enough money left over to pay for my cost of goods as well. And that's why they keep telling us you got to have a bigger spread. Tech was telling me over and over and over again, your spread is too small. But I didn't know that the spread was actually too small. I didn't know I was paying myself $6.67. I never knew that. And that's why this was going wrong. So here, check this out. Peep this. It tells you right here what my necessary profit was. I needed to be making $9 profit per item minimum for me to be able to pay myself, pay the business, replenish my cost. No, I'm sorry, not replenish my cost. Yeah, and replenish my cost of goods because the $350 would be in there. So I needed to do $9 profit per item to pay myself, pay the business, replenish my cost of goods. But I was at $763. I was never going to get out of this race. Never. It would have never worked. And I operate in a niche and in a business where I can have a higher profit per item. I don't have to have a 763. All I needed to do was take that 38% sell-through rate, slow it down to a 25%, and make more profit. And I would have been good the whole time. I just didn't know it because I didn't know I was paying this guy. So check this out. I'm going to switch these numbers a little bit. If I switch this to $10 profit, right here, I'm getting $1 after I replenish my inventory. That lets me save $600 per month after I am done with replenishing my inventory. So I get to rebuy all of the items I need to buy, and I get $600 to put to the side. So over the course of a year, we have almost $10,000. If I'm at $15 profit, that's $3,600 a month that I get to keep in my pocket. It just sits there in savings, so I can go pay taxes on it and stuff like that, of course. Like, that's it. $3,600 goes to me so I can go be great. And then at the end of the year, what's that? Like almost $40,000, $45,000, somewhere around there. If you're at a $20 profit, which is what we've been talking about a lot, that's $6,600 you're saving at the end, just by increasing the profit metric. But I never knew this because I didn't know I had that employee, which is why I was operating at 763, accepting offers that gave me 763, pricing items and picking up items that would give me 763. Even though I had the great sell-through rate, I didn't consider what I actually needed. And that's the thing. So I made another one of these for you guys. I'm going to drop the link in the description of the video so that you guys can use it yourself and figure out, like, how much are you paying you? Because check this out, and I'll run through it real quick for you guys. You got to fill in all the yellow boxes. Everything else should automatically calculate for you. But let's say you're one of the people who don't need to use this money at all to pay your bills. We can leave this at 0, right? And then your business bills, you don't have a storage unit, you don't have anything of the sort. You just got to buy supplies. So you spend $180 a month on just your business stuff. Your listing goal per day is five items a day. That means 150 items a month. Now, here's the thing. This calculator is set up for you to be at nirvana, because none of us want to be listing 5 items a day and selling 2 forever. You know, like, eventually you want to be listing 5, selling 5. Because if you're listing 5, selling 5, you're printing money, you're collecting money, a bunch of money is going into your pocket. So this calculator is set up so that if you are listing 5 a day, you're selling 5 a day. If you're listing 150 a month, you're selling 150 a month. Does that make sense? So we're going to go average cost. Let's say your average cost of goods is $6 an item, right? That puts you, and then you got to figure out what your actual profit is. Now, to figure out your actual profit, slide into the eBay fee calculator, put your numbers in. You on average sell things for, let's say, $25. You charge $5.99 for your shipping. Your shipping labels cost you $5, and your cost of goods is $6. You have a basic store, and you're top rated. You don't use promoted. You're making $16.09 profit per item right there. That's what it's telling us if this is your metric. So right here, you're going to put $16.09 in there. And here's our numbers. So because you don't have to pay yourself any money, then after you receive your 2209, nothing comes out to go to you. You're going to get $120 for the business and then $6 to go back into your cost of goods to replenish your inventory. That means you get to save $2,200 a month, every month, because you're at a $16 profit listing and selling 5 a day. That's it, 5 a day. And you get to put $2,200 in your pocket? Beautiful. Now, we're going to change this up a little bit. Let's say you do have bills. You have to pay $3,000 in bills. Where does your profit need to be now? $16 ain't getting it. $16 ain't getting it at 5 a day. And you can see it. You need to be at $21.20 a day if you're going to do 5 a day at this amount of expenses. So in that case, you need to be at $22 profit for you to be able to save money. $25 profit for you to be able to save money. And you can play with this calculator and figure out, where do I need to be at $25? $30 puts me at $20.53. $35 puts me at $25. And that's where you need to be. You need a business that buys stuff for $6, sells it for $35 plus $5.99 shipping. Total price all in is around a $42, $43 ASP on eBay. And that's what you'd be looking for. That's what you would need to do. So this right here on this left side is going to tell you what your necessary profit and cash flow is based on what your bills are. And then you just slide your profit in right here. If you're at $13 profit, you're losing a lot of money. You're losing $1,200 a month, every single month, because you paying you is too much. Now, if you were listing 15 a day, selling 15 a day, now here we are. We're making $2,700. It changes even with that $13 profit. So you have to be. I think I meant to put 10 in there, but I accidentally put 13. So like, you need to be aware of how much you need to pay you. You need to know that, because if you don't know, then you run into my situation where you're selling a whole bunch of items and you ain't making that much money because you didn't know that you were paying yourself, that you were paying eBay, that you were paying the post office, and whoever else needs the light company. You're paying Netflix. You're paying Apple Care. Whoever you need to pay, you need to be aware. You need to be sure that you're able to get some money at the end of the day. Because if this number on this right side right here is negative, then you end up in a real bad position, and that's where I was, and I don't want y'all to be there too. So that profit per item metric does matter. And if you need to figure out where does my profit per item need to be, go to the description. Use the link, put your numbers in here, and figure it out. And if you need help, send me a message. I got you. Or comment in, and I got you. I got your back. So I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for the 207. This is amazing. Like, I really appreciate this 207. And hopefully we was able to provide some value for you. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace. Peace.